What would you do if you were stuck in one place and every day was exactly the same and nothing that you did mattered?
It's showtime, Felix.
COVID-19 is here, so to protect ourselves and each other, we all need to stay at home. When you make essential trips for food or medicine, stay at least 2 meters from other people. When you exercise outdoors, stay within 2 kilometers of your home. Everyone over 70 or people with long-term health conditions should stay at home at all times. Keep washing your hands more often with soap and water, and keep surfaces clean. Cough or sneeze into your elbow or a tissue and avoid touching your face.
Some men try, and some men die. Hey.
I want to start by thanking people for showing an interest in my channel. I've had people trickling in, so hopefully something I have to say seems like it's of a value, and maybe in an insane period of time. I'm not a wealthy person. I'm not a celebrity. I don't coast on my internet life. I'm a truck driver by trade, and if things ever get back to the way they were, maybe you'll see me recording again, walking around my truck on like a break. So welcome to the channel. I haven't been recording much, but I think I'm going to get back into it over time. Right now, I just want to talk a little bit about the returning COVID lockdown talks. We've got some, guys, this is something that's to be expected. It comes in waves, and the strategies are getting old to people like me who pay attention. Maybe you pay attention. First it was, obviously, we're not going to do lockdowns. And then it was, we're going to do lockdowns. It'll only be 2 weeks. It'll be voluntary. Of course, then it went to 2 months. It's been to 2 years almost. Now the latest strategy for their, we're going to lift it. No, we're going to make it harder. We're going to lift it. This is the old pressure tactic that's used to control people. You apply pressure to the public, then you relieve it. You apply pressure, and you relieve it. It's very effective in controlling a population through fear and stress. And the latest little tinkering they've done is that they decided to make it look like they ended the lockdowns and everything's done. And then they're going to come back again. And they're going to do them again.
They come back. They go around again. They just go round and round. Round and round.
Because this is an extreme amount of power. Perhaps no generation since the days of Stalin, Mao, and Hitler have we seen so much power available, at least in the West, to so few amount of people. These elites are not going to give it up. They're simply going to try and bring about their fascistic, their communistic, whatever you want to call it, their totalitarian plans by any means that makes it as easy for them as possible, but they're not going to stop. They need to be stopped. They're traitors. They're assets in our countries that are sitting in high office. They're officials in our countries. They are traitors. They do not care about our freedoms. They do not care about us. We are not people to them. We are numbers. And if you think I'm exaggerating, you should be paying attention right now to what's going on in China. This is from about a week ago.
These are the grim conditions in which tens of thousands of people are being quarantined in Shanghai. This footage was taken by Thomas Vinay, who was sent to one of the city's so-called COVID camps after testing positive last Saturday.
Fortunately, now I'm perfectly healthy, so it's easier maybe to go through this. But I'm surrounded with people who are sick, who are always coughing.
You're a number.
If you can hear them, like right now.
Welcome to your future if people do not take their countries back.
He told me it's like living in a box and said there's an atmosphere of tension and anger, partly due to sleep deprivation.
We have no windows, so we don't know if it's day or night.
Yeah, they leave the lights on.
Outside, cannot breathe the fresh air.
Numbers still rising. There's no sign yet of the lockdown working. and in recent
Of course,
days,
it's
the
not
extreme
scientific.
and in
It
some
was always
cases cruel
counter
actions
to
of
the science,
authorities have
which
been
anyone could have
exposed.
done some basic research
The relatives
on
of this elderly man wheeled his bed in front of
before
their
they ever did
community
this.
management
Look,
office
people dying on the
to try and
street
get
for
him
no good
taken to
reason.
hospital. But because he wasn't sick,
This
the woman
lady
was
here, they
distraught
want to take her
after
baby
being
from her,
told
is still
she might be
nursing.
separated from her baby.
You take us away but leave a 4-month-old child who is still breastfed at home? What are you trying to do? Do you want him to die?
Millions of people are also down to their last rations of food.
Welcome to
Local
centralized
deliveries are
planning
promised over the
in
weekend,
totalitarian
but the supply
authority.
chain issues stemming from here
Not
will
enough
be
food.
far-reaching. The port of Shanghai is the busiest in the world, and activity
All
has
right,
dropped.
so
by
let's jump
30%.
ahead now to, I think it's this one is from just a couple days ago.
People in Shanghai are losing their patience with the city's strict coronavirus lockdown. Videos posted on social media show residents protesting against restrictions on their freedom and complaining about poor access to food and essential services for the elderly. Authorities initially planned for the lockdown to be lifted on Monday, but more than 25 million people have been told to continue isolating at home
25 million.
until their neighborhood has
I
been
mean, who
cleared
cares
of
about
positive
seniors,
cases.
right? I mean, they're just
The government
weight to
is
us
defending
anyways.
its heavy-handed
For the glory of the
approach.
party, the glory of the great vision. They need to be swept
dynamic
aside.
Zero-COVID policy does not seek zero infection. It aims to discover and halt infections to prevent a large-scale resurgence.
Here comes.
This is a scientific approach, and if we can
Science.
make good use of it, we'll get the maximum benefit with the minimum cost.
But the costs are mounting. Dozens of quarantine centers have been set up to house those who test positive, including the majority who have mild or no symptoms. Videos circulating online show poor living conditions inside hastily constructed facilities. Phyllis Ju, nation varies from area to area. Some neighborhoods
They're
are
trying to
managed well,
mobilize volunteers to feed enough people so they don't die.
while in others, people are going hungry and desperation is
Screaming out their
growing.
windows
This
because
video shows people yelling
this
in
is the lesson.
frustration from their apartments.
Either you take
Authorities
freedom
are censoring
and the
critical or
government
negative
fears the
online posts
people,
like these, promoting
or
instead
you live
images
under
of
the boot
volunteers
of the elites.
sending much-needed
And you are
supplies to
all
the city.
numbers, you're all ants, you're expendable.
Cases of the BA.2 Omicron variant.
B2 Omicron. You know, South Park predicted this. How hard is it to predict? But it'll never happen over here again, right? Well,
of new COVID variants emerging, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson
in Canada,
has
they're
hinted at
leaking.
another lockdown, asserting on how he cannot rule out
You
a
know,
future
Johnson's already
lockdown
saying
if
in
deadlier
UK
COVID
that,
variants
you know,
emerge.
oh, we'll do it if
Speaking
it'll
to a
save
UK
lives.
news channel, Johnson said, and I quote, "I think it would be irresponsible for any leader to say
irresponsible.
that they are going to rule out something that can't save lives." Further asserting on how what his government did saved scores.
he says I believe the things I believe, because when they say the science, they mean the faith, right? This asshole, he got a lot of power very easily. He just went along with the program. He is a fraud. He is not a conservative. He does not care about individual liberties or traditions of his nation. He is a sellout. You know, we got one here in Canada, a rabid communist who loves China, the Chinese Communist government here, Trudeau. But all the way down, you see elites, governors, premiers, whatever country you're in. These leaders are willing to sell you out. And if they're not, if they're willing to stand up, they get hammered by the media constantly. Those are the ones you want to make sure you vote for. You've got to make sure that the government realizes that if they push you too far, this is history. I'm not inciting violence. I am telling you, the reason it is called a revolution is because it is human nature that when things become too corrupt, that the masses become violent and overthrow their leaders. It's kind of like tilling the soil, right? This is why there's analogies by some of the founding fathers of America who believed in individual liberty, talking about the blood of patriots and tyrants, right? This kind of, taking care of the soil has to be tilled every so often or else things don't grow. It's human nature. These politicians only care about themselves, so they need to know from us that our resolve is strong. That if they push people too far, like even in China, people are starting to protest. under threat of people who can come to their house and drag them away in the dead of night. Don't listen to them when they talk about the science. It's like a cudgel that they hit you over the head with. It's a perversion of what science is. Science is debate. It is open observation. It is about finding results before you put your faith in something, and it is never about political agendas. Anyone who tells you that is a liar at best. And whether they're your friends, they're your family, they're your neighbors, you don't have to go out and fist fight with everybody. Of course, I'm not telling you that. But you need to know who these people are. You need to be honest with yourself. And remember that these people that tell you that it's just about love. You just need to hug people and talk it out and they'll all come around. You peace-loving hippie types, you've had your chance. You were irresponsible. You allowed these things to get out of control. You slapped masks on your face. You complied right away. You didn't stand up. Now it's time for the rest of us to be the adults. Stop talking to us about you need to be nice to everybody. That is not true. I will choose selectively who I am nice to, but I have already removed people from my life, and I know they're enemies to my freedom. That is vital for all of us to start doing, because we need to reverse the pressure back to what it used to be in the West, which is if you stand against individual liberty and you try and undermine our Constitution, which upholds it, you are an enemy and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Now we all need to stay calm. There is no reason to panic. But Kenny died of COVID. It's a new variant, the COVID Delta Plus rewards program variant. Everyone, please! We cannot panic!